Varieties and registers of spoken and written language. Language varieties. In social linguistics, language variety, also called lect, is a general term for any distinctive form of a language or linguistic expression. Language varies depending on the speaker, audience, and context, shaping how people communicate in different situations. The way individuals speak can be influenced by their region, social group, ethnicity, or even personal habits, leading to distinct patterns in pronunciation, vocabulary, and grammar. In addition, the level of formality in communication changes depending on whether the situation is official, academic, casual, or intimate. Some forms of expression remain fixed and unchanging, like those found in legal or religious contexts, while others are more flexible and adapt to everyday conversations. Spoken interactions often involve spontaneous, expressive elements such as tone and gestures, whereas written communication tends to be structured and carefully crafted. Recognizing these differences helps people navigate social and professional settings effectively.
And now we have the classification of language varieties. These refer to the language variants that can be sufficiently delimited from one another in terms of social, historical, or geospatial factors, thus forming a language clusters. Language varieties may also be grouped into the following. First, we have pidgin. It refers to a new language that develops into situations where speakers of different languages need to communicate but do not share a common language. Example of that is the Chavacano in the Philippines and the Bislama language spoken in Vanuatu. Next, we have the Creole. It is a pidgin that becomes the first language of the children or the mother tongue of a certain community. Examples are the Gulya and the Patwa in Jamaica. Chavacano is also considered as an example of Creole language. Next, we have the regional dialect. It is not a language that is not distinct from a national language, but rather a variety of language spoken in a particular area of a country. Examples, we have the Cebuano in Cebu, Waray in Samar, Leyte and Biliran or in the Visayas, Ilocano in Ilocos and Northern Luzon, and Hiligaynon in Mindanao. Next, we have the minority dialect. This is a variety used as a marker of identity, usually alongside a standard variety by the members of a particular minority ethnic group. Examples, we have the Sinama of the Bajaus in the Philippines and the London Jamaican variety in Britain. We also have the Maranao language and the Ivatan language. Next, we have the indigenized varieties. These are spoken mainly as a second language in former colonies with multilingual population. A classic example is Singlish or Singaporean English. We also have the Hokkaglish or the Philippine Hokkien Chinese English and the Taglish or the Tagalog English. Next, we have the jargon. Refers to a specialized language of a professional or occupational group. This language is often meaningless to outsiders. Jargon is a Fox method of creating a sort of dialect that only those on this inside group can understand. Jargon has a social implication similar to dialect prejudice but in reverse. It is a way of making those who understand this particular variety of language more erudite and learned. Those who are members of the group that understand the particular jargon are considered smart, while those on the outside are simply not bright enough to comprehend this kind of language. We have the corporate jargons used in businesses, medical jargons in medical field, and legal jargons in legal field. Lastly, we have slang. Similar to jargon, slang is the language that emerges within a subgroup to describe a new idea or to assign new words to existing ideas to develop a sense of identity. As with jargon, this can be exclusionary and tough, while jargon typically refers to specialism. Slang is more typically associated with social group, and it is also more casual. For example, the language of a younger generation. And we also have other example. It is how TikTok and Instagram creators speak.
Language registers. A language register is characterized by the way a speaker uses language differently in different social circumstances. These are determined by such factors such as social atmosphere, purpose of communication, audience, and the general context of the discourse. Let's move on to classifications of language registers. First is we have formal. These registers are used in professional, academic, or legal settings where communication is expected to be respectful, uninterrupted, and restrained to specific rules. Examples are registers used in research paper, government documents, business letters, and in business presentations. A formal language register follows strict grammar rules, avoids contractions and slangs, and maintains an objective tone. Next is casual or informal. These registers are used when communicating with friends, close acquaintances, colleagues, and family members. These are used in birthday parties or family gatherings. This style is relaxed, conversational, and uses contractions, slang, and a friendly tone. Then C. Intimate. Intimate language registers are reserved for special occasions, usually between only two people and often in private. Examples are an inside joke between two high school friends or sweet nothings whispered to your special someone. Then next is frozen. It refers to historic language that is intended to remain unchanged. Examples are the registers used in the Philippine Constitution and the Holy Bible, where in the first passage of the Bible, Genesis chapter 1, verse 1 to 3, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. E. Consultative. It is used in conversations when people are speaking with someone who has specialized knowledge or is offering advice. Tone is often respectful, such as the use of honorifics or courtesy titles, but may be more casual if the relationship between or among the communicators is friendly. An example of a consultative language register would be used in local television broadcast or in a conversation with a doctor during medical examination or a student asking a teacher to explain a math problem. Then lastly, we have F. Neutral. Neutral language registers are non-emotional and laden with facts. These are most appropriate for research or technical writing.